hotels are supposed to be safe havens, right? A place to rest after a long journey, but some rooms shouldn't exist. Last night, I discovered one such room, room 404. The hotel staff insisted it was not found, but at exactly midnight, the door appeared right before my eyes. I arrived at the Grand Riverton Hotel late, exhausted from my trip and just wanting to crash. The receptionist gave me a warm, practiced smile and handed over a key card, room 403. As a silly joke, I asked, "Nothing weird about room 404, right?" The receptionist froze just for a second. Her smile faltered, then snapped back into place. "Oh," she said with a little laugh, "that room doesn't exist, sir." I chuckled and headed for the elevator, not thinking anything of it. But when I reached my floor, I stopped dead. The wall right next to my room, 403, had a fresh scratch on it. It was faint, but it looked just like the outline of a door that someone had tried to carve into the plaster. I felt a chill run down my spine, and then I heard it. A faint, rhythmic knocking. But there was no one in the hallway. At exactly 12 a.m., I was jolted awake by a sound, a soft click, followed by a low, drawn-out creak. I slowly got out of bed, my heart thudding against my ribs, and peeked into the hallway. My breath hitched. Where there had been only a solid wall just hours before, a dark black wooden door now stood. A rusty, tarnished number plate was nailed to it, reading 404. The knocking I'd heard earlier was back, but louder now, more insistent, coming from behind that impossible door. Just then, my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I grabbed it. A text message. It read, "Do not open the door. Reception." But my blood ran cold when I looked at the sender. The number wasn't the hotel's. My curiosity, my foolish, foolish curiosity, won the battle against my fear. I reached out, my hand trembling, and turned the cold brass knob. The door swung open silently. Inside, the room looked familiar, but deeply, fundamentally wrong. It was a mirror image of my own room, but the air was thick with dust. The bed was made perfectly, yet it was covered in a ghostly white sheet of it. The wallpaper was peeling in long curling strips, and sitting on the chair in the corner was me, a perfect copy of me. But its skin was pale, almost translucent. Its eyes were too wide, unblinking, and it wore a smile that stretched just a little too far, splitting its face in a grotesque grin. In a dry, rasping whisper, it said, "I've been waiting for you." I stumbled back into the hallway, my heart hammering like it was trying to break free. It stood up from the chair, and with a sickening series of cracks and pops, its bones seemed to realign as it started moving toward me. I spun around and scrambled for my own door for safety, but it was too late. Slam. The door to room 404 shut behind me, locking me inside with that thing. A whisper echoed right behind my ear. "Everyone who checks in twice." My eyes darted around the room, desperate for an escape, and landed on the nightstand. There was an old leather-bound guest logbook. I flipped it open. Every entry had two signatures next to it. One was normal, written in neat cursive. The other was a distorted, spidery scrawl of the same name. And the last name on the page, it was mine. 2 columns, check-in number 1 and check-in number 2. Suddenly, the room felt like it was alive. The walls seemed to breathe in and out. The shadows on the floor writhed and crawled toward me. The thing advanced, its smile widening. I felt its ice-cold fingers touch my shoulder, and then everything was swallowed by darkness. At 7 a.m., a housekeeping cart rattled down the quiet hallway. The cleaner passed room 403. The wall next to it was smooth, freshly painted. Room 404 was gone. No door, no scratches, nothing, but down at the reception desk. The computer system blinked as a new message appeared on the screen. New guest registered, room 404. The room doesn't exist. You see, it won't exist again until this exact date, next year. And when it appears, someone else will hear the knocking. Thanks for watching. If you like stories that keep you up at night, make sure you subscribe.